and the earnings.
All right. Let's move to the next. Let's move to the infraction management issue: failure to declare assets and liabilities. Section 1 of the Public Office Holders Declaration of Assets and Disqualification Act, 1998, Act 550, also states that a person who holds public office mentioned in Section 3 of this Act shall submit to the Auditor General a written declaration of all properties and or assets owned by him and all liabilities owed by him at the end of every 4 years and at the end of the term of his office, and shall in any event be submitted not later than 6 months of the occurrence of any of the events specified in this subsection. These 3 people were supposed to declare their assets. Hamdratu Musa Saka, Deputy Executive Secretary. John Olite Otute.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, 2 of the persons are no longer with the Commission. The first person, Hamdiatu, who used to be the Executive Secretary, and then the second person, Loratu, who used to be the Deputy Commission. And so we are unable to reach them to submit their report. Honorable Chair, I'm saying that there are 3 individuals. The first was the Executive Secretary, Madam Hamdiatu, who is no longer with the Commission. The second person is Loratu, who was Deputy Executive Secretary and a member of the NPP's communication team, who has also left in regulation. He is still with the Commission, and we have ensured that he has submitted, done the declaration of his assets, and we have here a copy of the receipts from the Ghana Audit Service. I don't know if the auditors have it, but we are ready to submit this as well.
Person.
Yes, Honorable Chair, the third person had assets. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go to Ghana Digital Centers Limited, and Honorable Abena will handle the financials. It's on paragraph 925.
Okay, so this is the point. So I have stated that for you. You don't need to state it when you are answering any question, Minister. Minister, I think I don't have much issues with them, except that they are, previously in 2022, they could cover their short-term liabilities by 3 expenditure. I looked at their profits, and it looks like they are rather increasing their loss. 2022, they made a loss of 4 million. 2023, a loss of 4.2 million. So that's that they check these things because the ministry carry out its mandate. So they should look at whatever it is that is taking away so much in terms of expenditure and try as much as possible to fit within the revenues that they raise. Minister, I think on the whole, that's the piece of advice I want to give to Ghana Digital Center. That a lot depends on them. They can do a lot. But the fact that they are raising revenue doesn't mean they should spend all the revenues that they are raising. But they should put some to good use and make sure they correct the loss situation and also bring their current ratio status to what it was or even better for what it was in 2022 or even better than 2022. But they shouldn't see a drop. That's what I have to say. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, and the point you make is very clear. And I was just mentioning to the current Chief Executive that this is the reason why I have declined 2 trips of his already this year. Because if you look at the problem in loss making, if you look at the 2022 to 2023 revenue.
Emergencies don't wait, they just hit. And getting access to your savings from banks isn't always easy.
They actually improved their revenue remarkably from 8.8 million to 22.8 million.
Wow.
So remarkable increase.
Yeah.
However, when you look at their expenditure, from 12.8 million, they jumped to 27 million. A large chunk of that was spent on travels.
Expenses.
Yes,
So
travels.
that's why I'm saying they should work on reducing the expenditure.
And I can assure you that under the reset agenda of President John Dramani Mahama, that is actually in full swing. We've cut down a number of travels from the agency to ensure that places where, when the GDCL, for example, Miss Geek, Ghana, we had a representative who was supposed to be in Rwanda. As well, I'm sure you would have seen a video of myself supporting kids from my Redeemer School in Geneva, where Ghana placed third in a robotic thing. That was supported by GDCL. Previously, you would have had 6 or 7 people from GDCL escorting one person. Now, what we've done is, it's only one person. In Geneva, it was only the chief executive. In Rwanda, it was only the deputy chief executive. So prudent management of taxpayers' money is what will help us improve our ratio back to where it ought to be under the reset agenda. Thank you.
That it will reflect in the 2025 audit.
Thank you, Chair. This infraction has to do with outstanding rent. 7 tenants owed you rent, totaling an amount of 180,421.99 as at 31st December 2023. This has affected your operations in a way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We have taken prudent steps as part of our accountable governance agency. I would run through each company and what the status has been. 1, technical surplus. They left the the digital center in the second quarter of 2024. They had an outstanding debt of the debts. The company is unresponsive, and so we are LC. The entity is still, as at 29th of October, about 4 or 5 days ago, their total outstanding debt is now sitting at 61,267, has been able to recover 45,000 Ghana cedis and is on track to recover the outstanding 26,000 Ghana cedis that, 16,000 Ghana cedis that's left. 3, with some kind everything to reach out to them, they have terminated their tenancy without taking steps to find an officer of the company or any asset of the company that we can raise legal actions on. 4, MW Technologies. The debts for begin legal action against them. Old debt has been, management is working with them to get that payment for this year. 6 is Kudigo Limited. Current outstanding debt is 54,578 cedi 16 pesos. The last made payment on the 13th of August 2024 of the amount of 21,400 is a staff, but he says he's not responsible for settling the debt. He's forwarded an email to us. We've sent an email and again issued a demand notice. After we failure to pay the outstanding balance, we would initiate legal action. And the 7th one is Sibacor Limited. The outstanding balance remains, phone numbers are inactive. If, as and when we're able to find any assets or persons associated to the company, we will exact recovery. Thank you, Chair.
Auditor General, can you please confirm these payments from your end?
Fraction in the report. Subsequent to that, what they have recovered is 29,000 cedis. But like the minister said, some of them have accrued more debts. But what we have after the infraction is a 29,000 recovery that has been made. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's go to Ghana Post. And Honorable Enim Ernest will take care of 939.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Ghana Post will be looking at your financial piece. The increases in your expenditure, what accounted for that high increase in expenditure for 2020? What accounted for that high increase in expenditure for 2023?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the answer is very simple in one word: the mismanagement of the economy by the Akufo-Addo administration, because a lot of the increases, you know, Ghana Post pays a lot of airlines for the transporting of the parcels that we send to Europe and the United States, and we pay that in dollars. So when you saw the mismanagement when Ken Oforiatta, Abena, and co were at the finance ministry, and Dr. Baumia in charge of the economic management team, you then saw that...
Respectfully, Minister, I mean, stop it right there. Just go straight to your question and answer, and don't be name calling. You understand? Minister, please answer the question. Oh, when this was there, Oh, Minister, I don't think that is how we should be here. You are here, you have been here before. I have been where you are before.
I'm guided,
Let's just
Chairman.
go straight to the point.
I'm guided, Chairman.
Thank you.
So in 20, a fee of $100 to an airline, and the exchange rate was 8. Our expenditure would have been 800 cedis. And then when it went to 16 in 2023, you then have the challenge that your expenditure now becomes 1,600. So that's what accounted for that. So it's the forex losses. You know, yeah. But I'm sure that when you see the 2025 financials, you realize that even though we are doing more volumes, our expenditure would have dropped, because now with a better, stronger CD that's trading very favorably, you
indicated that the bottom line for 2023 improved from a loss position of 1.2 million. We are looking at the respective officers at these institutions. So going forward, we are looking at how best we can keep costs down. So we'll move on to the financial position, Minister. I can see that they improved slightly on their ratios, but then it's still not enough to be able to meet their short-term liabilities. So I would encourage that going forward, we pay attention to some of these things, so at least we don't get into situations like this. Thank you, Chair.
We are guided, Chair, and I can assure you that, you see, 2022 as well, in all fairness to the previous administration, was also a recovery period. So the revenues were now picking up again, because in 2021, don't forget, there was COVID. And so once they were up, and so you then saw them go back to full profitability in 2023. So that's why you see the profit margin. But then the point is, the profit could have been more if the forex thing was also low. So yeah.
Minister, it's not just the forex.
Say if they had reduced the expenditure.
Minister, there's continuity in government, so you better stop that and move on. Yes. Minister, what we have seen consistently, it was only Minerals Commission, where when they realized they were making losses, they decided to reduce their expenditure. And when they came in here, we commended them. But I knew it voted for you. But Minister, the issue is not to do with just the exchange losses and things that will surprise you. So it's not just about the exchange losses, but there are other expenditures that are in there that ought not to be there. You sat here and told us how you are helping Ghana Digital Center to reduce their expenditure, because they usually would have flown 6 people for just one event with one person. So these are the other things that we should be looking at, because other equally important things that I believe we should spend some time to help them with, like you are helping GDCL, help them with, and that should help them reduce. That's a note of caution to Minister, your agencies.
MD,
yes.
This is advice from the chair through me to you. You are guided. You want to take it as policy position.
All right. Let's go to the infractions. Unretired impress of 59,877. Have we retired this impress?
Has been retired and submitted to the Auditor General for verification in May 2025.
Auditors, could you confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the impress has been retired. Thank you.
Thank you. The next infraction is on paragraph 953, and Honorable Akwesi Kunedu will handle that one.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, this infraction has to do with the renovation of Bequai Post Office. And the auditors found that 4,704
and submitted during his meeting on the 16th of November 2024, and that has been submitted to the Auditor General for verification.
Auditors, can you please confirm for us if that has been done?
Honorable Chair, the variation was subsequently
Paragraph 958, and Honorable Shirley Che will take care of that one.
Thank you. This is to do with Procurement Financial Management Act 2016, to maintain good governance and management practices. The Public Procurement Authority reference letter PPA CEO 10/2491/23 made it mandatory for covered entities and state-owned enterprises to use the Ghana electronic procurement systems for all governments in transactions totaling over 7 million Ghana cedis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the Ghana Post operates in a very competitive area, and for that reason, we have in our hands here evidence of exemption by the Public Procurement Authority from us using the GANEPS for procurement. I have in my hand here a letter, and let me just read paragraph 4. Approval is hereby conveyed for the exclusion of Ghana Post Company Limited from applying the public procurement procedures in its operation, subject here, dated Wednesday, 9th July 2025, the Gazette of that exemption. So, because we have that exemption, they will not be running their procurements through GANEPS. Thank you.
That information.
Sorry, a copy has been shared with the Auditor General.
So is there a reason why the auditors were not informed or?
So it's not the Wild West where procurements are just happening in any way. No. There's a specialized manual because, like I said, they operate against, the Ghana Post is operating against all the private courier companies that you see in the country. They don't, if Ghana Post was bidding, for example, the passport job, they went into that as a competitive bid with all the private entities who went in there. It would then mean that they will have to go through PPA and get commencement authorization and all the things that we're talking about today. That's why the PPA, in its wisdom, developed its procurement manual for it. And so it's not as though it's a murky ground where there's no transparency. It's guided by the PPA's own procedure. And the board ratifies, yes.